Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's YOBOI and welcome to Boss Rush Island 3. Make sure to use Sada as your hero, and we're going to be starting off with both her right up in this corner here on strong targeting with a tech bot so that we can use the ability. Tech bot's optional, but recommended. I don't know, I'm too lazy to press it myself. And then we're going to put down a 0-2-3 Dart Monkey. Now when we're upgrading, any primary tower upgrades tier 3 first and then get the cross path. That way you can abuse that monkey knowledge to give a nice discount. We're going to get this guy up to a sharpshooter as fast as possible, and now we're going to have to deal with all these balloons that are linking, which is why we're getting down a 0-1-0 Druid Monkey. Later we're going to upgrade it further, but for now we're just going to get down a second Dart Monkey. It's going to be the exact same. Pretty much all the Dart Monkeys we're placing in the early game are going to be the exact same 0-2-4, and we're placing down a lot of them. So I'm just kind of going to say when we're placing them, and I'm not going to keep count because I don't even know the number. We're doing like 20 of them, so yeah. We're putting down a third one right here, and you want to keep your placements pretty similar to mine, especially the ones that we're placing in this general area, as they're going to also be able to help out with the AI defense. As you can see, they are both hitting the boss and also occasionally going back and helping out the druid for actual defense. You can see we got 3 of them in this little area, and later we can get a 4th one. If you really want to, you can get a 4th one right now, as that's just an extra safe way to play it, but I decided to now go for the ones up above the track. Now above the track, these are going to actually deal more damage to the boss. Just the way the track is, it's going to end up being a lot better, but they're still going to be able to snipe through the boss and help out some with AI, so that's very nice. We're just literally going to be following the boss as it goes along the track, so yeah, I mean, we're placing as many of these things as possible. Around Skull 20, you're going to want to get down a second Druid. I was a little bit late to it, so it's slightly riskier, but you guys really should be fine. As you can see, I didn't actually leak any lives there. It was just a Saram getting, like, within 10% of the end of the track. So, go for a second Druid, and then a third one. The third one, you want to have a 1-3-0. The others, we just have a 0-3-0 for now. And now we're getting down a 1-0-4 rubber to gold on strong. You just want to put that near the entrance. It doesn't really matter too much. If you have to put it on the left side, you want to put it on last targeting. Otherwise, if you can fit it where I placed it, you can keep it on strong targeting. We're getting down a couple more of these sharpshooters, and now we can upgrade the original 2 druids to 1-3-0s instead of just uncross path, and we can also get down a 4th sharpshooter to help out against these Moabs. The 4th one isn't necessarily necessary. That's an interesting way to say things. It's not necessarily necessary. I've had some runs where I just did 3 sharpshooters, but more sharpshooters is more safer, I think. I'm pretty sure that's how the math works. It's just more safety, so that's why we did that. And once you have about 7 tower slots left, we're going to be going for the Hydra rocket pods. It's going to be a 2-3-0. And this guy's going to eventually become our MAD. You can place it slightly differently, but this is just where I decided to place it. It doesn't matter too much, you just want to put it somewhere in the middle area. And now we're going to be going for one final druid who's going to become our Spirit of the Forest. If this guy's helping out so far, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and use code YOBOI, that's YOBOI, in the BTD6 store. It really supports me, especially while YouTube is not keeping me monetized. Don't worry, I think it'll be fixed in like a week or 2. YouTube is just kind of being really lazy. Right, one of the biggest companies in the world, I think it's number 2, takes 3 weeks to deliver a package in the mail, which is nice. We get up the Spirit of the Forest once we can, which is great because it's going to allow us to eventually place down a MAD without actually dying. You can see here that the boss damage is really slowing down a bunch, and I'm kind of questioning, do we place more sharpshooters or not? Now, if your boss is significantly ahead, you're going to want to place down a couple more sharpshooters, right around where the orange bush is, all the way like to where my mouse is, or where it was, you know, in that, yeah, this area here. Thank you, past me. But if you have the same amount of money as I do, or even a little bit less, you can sell your alchemists, you can sell a bunch of your sharpshooters, and you can see I had so much money that I actually had these 4 sharpshooters, plus 2 at the entrance, so really, it wasn't that bad, right? If you have $30,000, or even $20,000, you should be fine. Anything other than that, you might have to place more sharpshooters just to get more money, and then you're going to get the MAD. Hopefully that makes sense. But now we're just going to be targeting the MAD. Now the direction we target the MAD, you don't want to hit the head, you want to hit the 2 segments that aren't the head, like the 2 furthest up segments other than the head. We're going to be placing down some Dart Monkeys and also alch buffing the MAD. You can see we got the 401 Alchemist, who is in range of the MAD, and now we're also getting up the Crossbow Masters. in order to get some extra AI pops, because those are very nice. Now, one thing I would recommend is don't go for a second crossbow master. You might be wondering, yo boy, why would you not get a second crossbow master? It just makes sense. It gives you like 5 to 7 Paragon degrees for only $20,000. It's pretty much completely worth it, and that is almost always the case. And I do think if you really want to, it is optimal to go for a second crossbow master, but I do think it is safer to not go for a second crossbow master. I'll explain why a little bit later, but first let me just tell you, now you can see we're aiming the MAD and it's able to hit the boss. Really, when you're using the ability, you want to make sure all those rockets are hitting this boss. It's a super long boss, so if you're not hitting it with the ability, that's kind of a skill issue. We're going to be placing a bunch of dart monkeys who are outside of the range of the alchemist. That part's not entirely necessary, but it's just where I prefer to place them so it doesn't steal the MAD's alch buff. These darts aren't going to get too many pops, but I'd recommend you get the 0, 3, 2 for some of them that are further away from the boss, and then you get the 2, 3, 0 for the others. If you want to, it would be more optimal to be placing them, upgrading to tier 3, getting the cross path, and then placing another one, but I'm really lazy, so I placed all the darts first and then upgraded them. It's really your choice though, whatever. Speaking of things that are your choice, I see so many people choose to complain in the comment sections about, my team can't make it this far, you got any teams I can join? I actually do have many teams for you to join. I don't actually personally know the teams, but what you can do is you can join the Discord in the description, and then from that Discord there's a ton of teams posted, and if you want to, you can create your own team and post it in there, and a bunch of people will join. They all watch these guides, which means that they're much better than the average player. I really don't think that you can make a team that can do all 5 islands without joining a Discord. It doesn't have to be mine, but this is the one. It's more official for Boss Rush. There's also the general BTD6 Discord, which will also help you find teams. But if you want a team, join a Discord. It kind of sucks. I've asked Ninja Kiwi, please, pretty please, make an actual way to get a good team, and they kind of ignored me. But anyways, we're going for the Plasmonkey Fan Club, which is going to allow us to deal some extra boss damage and get some extra dart pops, as well as the Super Brittle, who's going to do pretty much the same. With the Super Brittle, the Plasmonkey Fan Club, the MAD, and another Crossbow Master, you have a bunch of options here. If you really want to, you want to play things extra risky, you could sell the Spirit of the Forest, the MAD, the Alchemist, the Super Brittle, once you're at about 35k, and then you could get the Dart Paragon and then quickly rebuild that Spirit of the Forest. However, I think it's better to be safe and keep your Spirit of the Forest up and just get the Dart Paragon a little bit later. One thing here is that I sold everything at about 65k, and I kept the second Crossbow Master to get more Paragon degrees, but if you want to, you could sell at 45k and sell one of the Crossbow Masters, and that way you can get the Dart Paragon up a little bit earlier. If you sell and you end up being a little bit under budget, right, you're at like 148, 149k, just sell some of your dart monkeys. I sell the sharpshooters in order, because I was about $1,000 off, so I sold a sharpshooter and then got the Paragon. Paragon position is very important, and you just want where your Plasmonkey Fan Club was, which should be right around this bend. Otherwise, you know, you can sell the Ultra Jug and place it right here instead if you didn't put it in the right position. I kind of skimmed over where you should put it, so that's my bad. Get the middle path tier 5 and the bottom path tier 5 Sniper Monkey. These guys are going to help out against Diamond Balloons so that we can put our Dart Monkey Paragon on first, last, strong targeting. We're going to be moving around some and then get a Perma Brew for all these snipers. The middle path makes all the snipers shoot faster, and the bottom path, of course, is able to shoot super fast and kill everything, which is very nice. You can see they're able to shred DDTs the second they get past the boss's fat head. That's not like me being mean to it, that's just what people call it. I actually think that the head is a lot smaller than most bosses, but people complain, they're like, it's so fat and it makes everything, it stops projectiles from going through it, so people complain. I'm going to move the Dart Paragon here on last targeting. Now, this isn't technically the best for boss damage, but my computer was overheating because I'm now recording in actual slightly decent quality, so I decided why not put the Dart Paragon on last targeting so that we can actually kill the balloons. Last targeting is pretty good, but now that the boss head has moved past the Dart Paragon, we're going to be putting it on close targeting. What close targeting can do is hit through all the segments and not get pierce capped by the boss's head. And now we're just going to keep on putting down some snipers, and you can see we actually got the MAD up. I kind of forgot to mention that. Snipers, they had a little bit of damage, but really they're here for safety, because if one diamond balloon leaks, you die. I don't know why, but they steal, like, I think it's 400, 500 HP. It's really annoying. I'm not, like, why Ninja Kiwi? That doesn't make any sense. It's one diamond balloon. Whatever, enough complaining. And you can see I just leave the Dart Paragon on close targeting. That way it's able to handle most of the AI balloons, and it's also dealing pretty much perfect boss damage. Now, if you want to, you can switch it to first now, like I did, once the boss is pretty far away, because we want to be hitting all of these tail segments, and so we're going to still get most of the Dart Paragon damage. I think first targeting is best right when the boss is at the end. But hey, if this guide helped you out, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace out, bye. Also, if you notice my voice is a little bit different, that's just because I'm a little bit sick. Whatever, it's fine. Don't worry about me.